Hey everyone, it's Joy here for Honeybee Stamps, and today I created a sweet little mug card using the Mugs and Kisses die and coordinating stamp. Okay, I'm going to start by ink blending. I've done all of my die cutting. These little mittens here are from the Lovely Layers seasonal signs, and I just had to bring those in. I thought they were so cute, and I'm using a cream color cardstock and taking just a little bit of antique linen and giving that a little bit of an ink blend. And then for the little, I would say the little fluffy part around the wrist, I did a brown cardstock, and I'm using gathered twigs to do a little bit of ink blending with that. And then the background, I have already used the Quilted A2 cover plate on some craft cardstock, and I just want to ink blend around the edges. But I love that quilted look. To me, it gives kind of a cozy feel, so I think that's perfect for this card. Then I have my two mugs that I have die cut from the Mugs and Kisses die set. And then there is a stamp and die, but everything coordinates together. I did a little bit of ink blending with salvaged patina, and then I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending with Kitsch Flamingo just to give them a little bit of something extra around the edges of the mug. Now, in the stamp set, you can stamp the coffee part or the hot chocolate part, but I'm not going to do that. I used the die cuts for that. And then out of the Lovely Layers seasonal signs die set, I thought I would bring in a little bit of greenery that I'm ink blending with bundled sage. Now here is that little Mugs and Kisses stamp set. It has sentiments, of course, and then the little images I was just talking about. And we're going to do some white heat embossing. So I prepped my craft cardstock. I'm going to ink up my stamps with clear embossing ink, and I'm turning on my heat tool to get that nice and hot, and I'm going to ink that up a few times. And this says, "I love you more than hot chocolate." I do love hot chocolate. I don't drink it that often, but I love it. And then I'm going to sprinkle on my my white embossing powder. And then I'm going to heat that with my heat tool, and I'm going to use the coordinating dies to die cut out these sentiments. So I'm going to tape those in place with some low tack tape, and then I can run that through my die cut machine. And then we're going to have our little sentiments here. This really is a quick and easy card to put together, but so fun, and I love how it turned out. So I'm going to glue my little mittens together, but also I die cut some snowflakes and some marshmallows from the Mugs and Kisses die set. So let's get our mittens glued here. Now there's also a heart in the Mugs and Kisses die that I have die cut from red cardstock, and I want that to be across both of the mugs, and it's really super simple. You could just lay the heart over it, but I felt like I needed to cut it in half and make it to where each mug, half of the heart, is joining together when you put the mugs together. So I'm going to glue it onto this pink one first. Then I'm going to adhere my mugs together, but let me get the little hot chocolate part. So these are the die cuts that I was talking about instead of the stamp. And I did that because I'm going to glue on some whipped cream, and we're going to have some marshmallows. Now there's two sizes of marshmallows. There's a big and a small, and I'm going to use both of those, but the big just on the mug there. And so I kind of want these glued together on an angle. So I want to glue them together first and then add foam adhesive behind it. So let me get some liquid glue here. Add just a little dot of that, get them exactly how I want them to be. And then I'm going to do 2mm foam adhesive behind these so they can have some nice dimension. And then I can flip these over. I'm also going to add 2mm foam adhesive behind our sentiments. Once I get these two things in place, then I can bring in all of the other elements and start tucking them around and kind of creating our little collection of pieces here. I'm going to add that second heart piece, and so now we have this cute little heart right in the center that's joining our two little hot chocolate mugs. There's our sentiments, and then I just kind of laid everything out. So I have my snowflakes here. I have all of my greenery. I did die cut 5 pieces of greenery. I thought I was going to only use 4, but I do end up using 5. And then one of those mittens has 2mm foam adhesive. The other mitten has 1mm. And I just thought this kind of added to the scene with just, you know, it's still snowing in some places, but Valentine's Day is coming up. You have a little bit of greenery kind of breaking up all the other colors on here. I don't know. It just kind of felt like a wintry but Valentine-y scene. It's not too cold. It's not too frosty, but it still might be a little chilly outside. Let me get this last little bit of greenery tucked in here, and then I'm going to start placing these marshmallows around. I have 3 more of those bigger marshmallows, and then I have a few of those tiny ones. So the bigger marshmallows are going to have 1mm foam adhesive, and then the tiny ones I will just glue with liquid glue. Okay, so let's get those few pieces around. Adding just my little dots of glue, and then I can just use my Pick Pro tool and place those down. And then the things that are hanging off the edge, with the exception of the very top or the very left side of the card, I'm going to trim everything else off that's hanging over, but I don't want to trim off the greenery on the left side. And then I'm going to take a little glitter brush and add glitter to just some of the whipped cream, the marshmallows, that heart, just to add a little something shiny, and to the snowflakes, just to give it a little bit of winter glimmer. And then this card is finished. This will be on an A2 size card base, but look at that shimmer and shine. I just think this is a really fun, playful card, and really you could use this for anything. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project. I hope you feel inspired, and if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel.